Hey everybody, this is Ruben Lowing here in Katy, Texas. So yesterday and last night on the Titan call, Schwan Wynn, there was a lot going on talking about the Admin Academy, and then Schwan Wynn gets on, and the tone changes, and almost the topic changes, and he's more about he's going in and he's going over this guy's bubble chart. And this guy did, got somewhere and didn't do nothing. This guy got somewhere and then he stopped. And this guy goes, went into the, witness protection program and all that, right? And he's like, he's, the belief. It's not, you got to get the belief in, right? And then he comes back around and he starts explaining, how to get, go back and talk to these people and go meet them face to face. And then Bernadette, on our training afterwards, she had excellent training, by the way, on the Social Security, the RCC program, and phenomenal training. And then she gets off script, and she's talking, about hitting our goals. 10 recruits this month, right? And make an SMD, committing to be SMD by June. And I want to be an SMD. And I want to have that kind of money again. I used to make a lot of money, right? And then I miss not having that kind of money, right? And then she comes, she's like, I'm going to do this. And a lot of you guys are going to quit. A lot of people are going to, they're not going to show up to the meetings and And I'm like, all right, I'm holding on because I want to do this, and I respect Bernadette, right? And then it always happens, I'm talking with one of my housemates. He's a doctor, and he's also a pastor, and we're talking about how things are, and all of a sudden, bang, it hit me. What got me in this whole world to begin with was my wife would buy me books. I was self-educating. I started reading a lot of books about successful people and their autobiographies. I started, I'd read, Stephen Covey books, Dennis Waitley books. I was avidly reading a lot of stuff and trying to, change what's in here, right? And so my wife gets me this one book called The Steel Titan, right? And The Steel Titan is about the story of Charles Schwab, the industrialist, not Charles Schwab, the discount broker, right? And Charles Schwab, the industrialist, was the one that brokered the deal between Andrew Carnegie and J.P. Morgan to form U.S. Steel. And it was caused by an impromptu speech that Schwab did in a banquet in his honor, where he laid out his vision for the new way of distributing steel. And while he did that, in the audience was J.P. Morgan, who was going to financially back these other group of people that basically were the people that made boxcars and built ships and barbed wire and telegraph wire, that needed steel products. All right, and they were going to compete against Carnegie. But when Schwab laid out his way of distribution, J.P. Morgan's like, oh my gosh, we have everything together with Carnegie's production and these other people's distribution. And so that's what happened, right? Well, what's interesting is the backer for U.S. Steel at the time was Aegon, the owner of Transamerica and World Financial Group, and that's something else. Okay. And then she got me these other books, because they had boxing gloves on the cover. and they were by John Avanzini, who was a pastor, and it was Breaking the Power of Debt and Rapid Debt Reduction Strategies. And Breaking the Power of Debt was a bigger book, but it was all about making that hard spiritual commitment, tapping into the spiritual warfare realm to get yourself committed to sticking to the plan and getting out of debt. And then Rapid Debt Reduction Strategies was just a debt roll up, you know, and some negotiating strategies for your creditors. Okay, which is, so here's what hit me today talking to my pastor roommate, who's a doctor, and it hit me that what we're missing, what Bernadette's trying to do, and what Xuan Wen's trying to do, is get you to make that hard, solid spiritual commitment to being successful in our business. Okay, and that's what it was. That's what's missing. Okay, and they're trying to do it. They're trying to do it by their talk. Okay, but it's when you look how John Avanzini did it in his book. Oh, this is really crazy, right? So my pastor in Far, Texas, all right, Clark Ortiz, he knew John Avanzini. John Avanzini was a mentor to him. Isn't that wild? Okay, so that's just amazing, right? So what we are doing with the system and what we are doing with the workshops is bringing people to that strong commitment. It may not be the spiritual commitment, okay, but it's the passion of the presenters, all right, and how clear they are and concise they are on how the strategies work, all right, and their commitment to the business is what they're trying to get to bleed over to the listeners, okay, and get them to generate that commitment to, all right, and stick to the program. So that's what was my epiphany today, right? Making that spiritual commitment to be successful. Hope this helps. Have a great day.